He moved out of London, he says, because he couldn't resist the lure of the region's coast and countryside.
David Purdie is a photographer from Hackney, but he set up a gallery in Rye. There he displays and sells the pictures he's taken from around an area which he says he's fallen in love with. Paul Fitzgerald has our report.
It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, I've shot all sorts of marvellous things here that I'd never have done anywhere. And most days I can go out and I can find something to shoot.
David Purdie out working on Winchelsea Beach. The 48-year-old former artist, now photographer, spent 20 years in the East End of London before moving with his family to Kent.
So, I mean, visually, what appeals to you as a photographer about this area? Because you've got the countryside, but you've also got the coast very close.
I think it's the kind of space and the openness that you have quite big skies. It's fairly sparsely populated. It's there's the beaches, the landscape. It has a kind of it's not like the Highlands of Scotland. It's not like thrilling landscape, but it's very beautiful, and you get very differing lights.
These are some of the results. David opened a gallery in Rye in October last year. Eye-catching as these images are, his work goes beyond the pastoral and the picturesque.
You could be photographing waves and groins, or you could be photographing cars on a bridge. It's about the kind of structure of the shot. And obviously the content is different, but the kind of feel of how you make that into a picture can be very similar.
I actually quite like ordinary subjects. I don't go for the big and spectacular. I go for relatively straightforward, kind of ordinary things often. But I think if they're shot in the right way, or you look closely enough at them, you can get a great picture from practically anything.
Paul Fitzgerald at Winchelsea Beach for Meridian Tonight.
Nice scenes. Now let's race to Brands Hatch in Kent, where we'll find, hopefully, Ian McBride, who's celebrating an important anniversary. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Sangeeta. Yes, very good evening to you. I was expecting an insult there, something like no oil painting, but very good evening from Brands Hatch, which this weekend sees the start of the 50th year of the British Touring Car Championship, and it coincides with the publication of this book, which marks the history of the famous Kent circuit. It shows